Hi guys, wherever you are, and it's a beautiful sunny day in our ski village. The snow is starting to melt and spring is here. So as you can see, I'm not in my winter woolies, I'm in a light summer top and it's great. So 2 nights ago, my guides gave me a vision all about, they called it the collective consciousness and how it works, and how it all collects in something called the energy field and how it affects us and how we affect it. So to lead up to that, I thought I'd first read something from the discourse because it is about energy. Okay, here goes. So I said to Alba, in other planets, we do not have this problem. We were discussing, I think, truth or something. Because on other planets, one can instantly read another's thoughts. There's nothing to hide. So it's nothing but truth and expansion. And that is what we wish for those who are listening here today, to imagine that everything that they think or say about another internally, or say especially about themselves, can be seen and heard by all. Would they then change their thinking? We think so. And then you'll see when I tell you about the collective consciousness, how that affects us with that thinking. So she said, yes, I think so. Could you talk to me about power and how we've given it away, released our power? So this is my reply. When you have toxic thoughts, when you have disease in the body, well, you've released your power. You've given it away. For this self is your energetic house. It's your energetic center. You have electricity stations on your earth plane that provide energy. This form is your powerhouse. This is your power station. And every time that you give a little away by not being true to yourself, you diminish your power. And so we would like to give you an example. If all earthlings get $100 of power to run their system daily, woman, child, man, all earthlings, and every time they have a negative thought about themselves or another, that energy goes down. 95, 90, 80, 60. How much have they depleted their power base by the end of each day? Are they in deficit or are they in credit? How do they choose to live? How do they choose to design that energy center, that powerhouse, that power station? Every human runs and plugs in their own power base. So why would they give their power away when the other has been issued the same amount? She said, well, it seems we've been programmed that way since birth, to give away our power to authority, to others that are in a perhaps higher status than us. It seems like it's a program we've been born into, giving our power away to our spouse, to our family members. I said, no, there is no one that is of higher status than oneself. For one is never above and one is never below. One is not to the front, not to the back, but you travel side by side. And that is the problem on earth. One gives status to another when one feels less than another. Doctors, lawyers, professionals, those who are learned, they do not hold a higher status than the beggar on the street. This is something that's been programmed for and distinction. For have we not said, your things do not define who you are, but your essence and your heart? There lies your wealth, there lies your power. For Mother Teresa was one, as we said before, with great essence, and yet she had no wealth. And Jesus had great essence. His wealth was in the love that he had for the people, people really need to think about how they're giving their power away to those who they deem to have higher status. And that is why we said there are so many on earth spending so much time buying things they don't need in order to give them status. For you have many roaming around in cars, which is a vehicle that'll take you from A to B. One is a Porsche, a Ferrari, a Lamborghini, a Bentley, a Rolls Royce. But does not the Mini Minor get you to the same place? A little truck get you to the same place? Are you not traveling the same distance? Yes. One has more comfort. Does this mean that one that travels in the Bentley is of a higher status? No, it means they've been programmed more. We wish to now make a clarification. Not all who have things are trapped, for there are many humans who have immense power of heart and essence, who have beautiful things, for they do not see the one that is in the small car as less than themselves. They don't put them or place them on a lower status, for these are masters who live amongst you. But there are so many earthlings that give and erode the power base daily, where they have anxiety because they feel they're not enough. They just don't meet the standard. They're not acceptable. And so many of these are the alone dwellers. And then you have something that is turned suicide. And the suicide is from many different factors. But the largest factor is not being able to fit in, not having status, not having the right house, the right school, the right car, the right clothes. Right for who? Right for whom? And that's why we say, who are you living for? Who are you designing your homes for? Your physical home, your 3D home, because you're here just for a temporary time, a small earth fragment of time. So do you wish to spend it in anxiety, fear, and lack? Or are you self-contained? Contained in self. Are you happy with yourself, guys? So that is why we say, know who you are. You're a spark of light from the all that is. You are a cell in the structure of the all that is. There's nothing that hasn't been ordained. Live in the moment. Make this moment count. For when this moment counts, the next moment will look after itself. It hasn't arrived yet. But yet everybody's already living in the future, planning in the future that might never come. So we would like you all just to be a designer of the moment. Beautiful, she said. You spoke to Jill about independence and told her that you needed to split up the word. So could you tell us what that is? Well, there are many words that we would like humanity to split. For when they split their words and play with their words and the nuances of the words, then they will actually understand what the word means. And we told her many years ago, humanity needs to study the meaning of words that they use, that just flow out of their portal of light. This mouthpiece that is speaking to you now is here to teach humanity about their power, the power that comes out of their portal of light. And as she speaks, and as she puts her hands now, these fingers in front of her mouth, and she has spoken before on her group on Facebook called 4I Am Universe, to teach people to put their hands in front of their mouths and speak. And as they do this, they will feel the vibration of who they are against their fingers. That is their power. So guys, if you put your hand in front of your mouth and as you speak out loud, There's going to be energy coming across your fingertips. That is your vibration. Okay. The most important organ in their body is their portal, is their mouthpiece. For the words that come out hold immense weight, because these words can start wars. These words can create peace throughout nations. For is it not words that all your politicians use, political movements? So we come back to the word independence. Who or what are you independent on? You all look to the external, but everything is internal, the silent voice. And in the stillness is when you get to the point of creation, because that's when you feel your vibration, you know who you are. So when you go into the dependence and you actually depend on self and realize that self is aligned with the all that is, then there's no need for external anything. For it is all internal. And yet humanity is filling itself up on the external. You know, when you seek approval, and we've stated the only approval that one ever needs is the approval of self. For when one has self-love, love of the self, then things will flow. You will move out of the stagnant pool. For the all that is created this energetic form. So what are you saying to the all that is when you find fault in your perfect form? Do you say to the all that is, you created imperfection. You're not a great designer, yet you're on this earth plane. And as you walk, you have grass, you have flowers, you have air, you have ocean, you have water, lakes, you have the sun, you have the moon, you have the clouds, and you have the joy of each other, all your playmates. So how can one see imperfection? Not only in self, but in another, because you're just all playing a part. This is a beautiful stage, this earth. So what part is it that you wish to play? Go, experiment, have fun. Find the joy. Find the joy. So guys, I'm having joy today because it's a beautiful day and it's spring, and spring is sprung, and I'm springing into action. So now that I've read that bit to you as a precursor, I'm going to post this one, and then I'm going to do the one on the collective consciousness and to see how powerful you are, this energy that they're speaking about, this generator that you have, that you should not be diminishing, because we all need each other. We need all those generators to generate, but to generate positivity. Okay, so I'm going to end this one now. There's the end, and I'll see you shortly. Lots of love. Cheers.